Hello everyone, this is Cecilia Ness from Celestine Expressive Healing Arts. We are here to review the full moon in Leo that's going to be transiting on February 1st. We start the new month with a bang. Some fire energy, Leo energy, and we got some fire moving through this reading as well, with the Phoneinx and the flame and the eternal child, which is like the sun card in tarot. But let's dig in. Let's dive in. I'm going to try to keep this reading to 30 minutes, hopefully. I always kind of start rambling along. So first I pulled out these middle cards. These are the soul cards, which I love. And the way I see these cards, they complement each other. I see it as if we're talking about parts work, right? Like we're talking about these soul parts that are different aspects of our psyche and our internal world. I would say that this is like the divine masculine father card, or if you want to, without having to use gender, it could be the protective aspect of ourselves, right? And then we have the divine feminine, the mother card, or the nurturing aspect of ourselves. And then we have the inner child, or it could be seen as our creative life force, right? Our creativity, our true essence, our authentic self. It has to do with our unique self-expression. But it's also, again, there's this nurturing energy here, because you see this caretaker mother figure, and she's embracing this child and also holding a rose. The rose is very symbolic of the divine feminine and the divine mother and Mother Earth and Mother Nature, right? And this beautiful, delicate symbol of beauty and of yeah, this nurturing energy and love, right? It's a symbol of love. So let's get in. So very quickly, just to highlight again, I covered it in the February monthly reading, which I'll put the link below. But so Neptune just transited into Aries. That's going to be a 13-14 year cycle that we're going to be in. Neptune moving out of Pisces, which is its sign. It rules Pisces. It's very, right, it's a very watery, like kind of illusionary kind of energy, dreamlike energy. And now that it's moving into Aries, it's more about taking initiative and turning these dreamy visions into reality. Right, getting clarity around that, really fleshing out these visions, these goals, these intentions. Right, Neptune moves from Pisces into Aries, beginning a long transit where spiritual, imaginative, dissolving energy mixes with Aries' bold, initiating fire. This marks a shift from the collective, diffuse spiritual focus to individualized vision and identity-related idealism. Yeah, it has to do with individuation. It's not about, it's not about really living in this very Western, individualistic, cultural, structure. It's more about getting clear on who we are individually and healing and creating these healed whole selves that are not fragmented, right? And they're very grounded on and knowing who they are and what their beliefs are, and taking space up in the world and things like that. So this card, this also reminds me of like the sage, right? This person's wearing this robe, very kind of like, has this sage, alchemist, magician kind of energy. And if you see here, they're almost like working with these natural laws or elements. almost like I don't know, I think of sacred geometry. This reminds me of like the Metatron cube, or even the flower of life, or something like that. And it's like the person's learning how to channel their own energy and transmute these other external elements. You know, so something around that. And then the praying mantis symbolizes meditation, like going inward, going into these very self-reflective states, which really connects to this like sage alchemy, right? It's about inner wisdom, inner knowing, trusting our inner knowing. And in order to be able to tap into that, we have to, you know, we have to be, allow ourselves to be in stillness or in silence and self-reflect in order to connect to that. And also to the archetype of the healer. We're all connected to the healer. We all have the capacity to heal ourselves. That's what we embody. That's what lives inside us. And maybe along the way we've forgotten that. We've forgotten the innate gifts that we were born with, right? That we were given through our ancestry, through our DNA, that we are healers. We came as healers. We just have to remember that and reconnect with that and reclaim it. And so there's something around that, this like reclaiming, this using our life force to align our energy with what we believe in, with our passions, with our true purpose. And in order to know what that is, we need to be in meditation. We need to be in stillness, right? And self-reflect and be with ourselves and commune with nature. Maybe there's a lot of nature elements here too. And if you look at the serpents, right? Serpents represent transformation, as does the phoenix, right? The mythical firebird that rises from the ashes, right? Resurrection, rebirth. Let's see what else I want to say. So yes, Neptune entering Aries, that was just happened a few days ago, January 26th. So we're getting clear on who we're becoming and what, you know, and what direction we're taking. Full moon in Leo, which we're covering here, brings in emotional climax, right? We're getting really like fired up maybe now. January was a slow start, right? We were doing our last clearing, wrapping up loose ends, and now we're slowly starting to ramp up, right? The energy's ramping up, especially with this Leo energy. It's all about self-expression, creativity, you know, building our personal confidence from within, aligning to our purpose, making that, becoming aware of what our purpose is. Letting go of our fear of being seen, of being visible. There's something around visibility with the sun. And Leos love to be the, you know, shine their light, and they're charming, and they love to be the center of attention, or like take on a leadership role, maybe be inspiring, you know, individuals. So it's like we're being invited to tap into that. I think with this middle row for sure, with the eternal child, with the flame, the phoenix. Venus entering Pisces on February 10th. That's gonna heighten empathy, compassion, romantic imagination. Again, more creativity, spiritual connection. Maybe through our relationships, whether that be romantic or platonic, or, you know, within our families. I guess the ability to connect to something deeper, maybe deeper intimacy or vulnerability, and sharing these hidden aspects of ourselves with others, taking that risk of connection, of vulnerability. Yeah, it says this transit, because Venus is the planet of love, right? And then Pisces is such a sensitive, beautiful, emotional sign. It's like this transit softens edges and makes emotional bonds more intuitive and poetic. I see that too coming in. There's the opening for more of that, of connecting to the spontaneous, inspirational energy that's very poetic and creative and alive and dynamic, you know. And then lastly, we have Saturn joining Neptune in Aries on February 14th, which technically is in Western culture Valentine's Day, the day of love, right? So Saturn's ingress into Aries brings structure, discipline, responsibility, long-term commitment to identity, leadership, and personal goals. Yeah, because Saturn is all about structure and discipline, which I think could really complement the Neptunian energy of it being very dreamy and kind of like flowy and all that. It brings in more structure into that so that we're able to take more practical steps in order to manifest these dreams and goals and visions. A question that you can ask yourself for this transit, Saturn entering Aries, is, are your actions grounded and sustainable? So when we're making decisions and we're planning ahead for the future, the near future, you know, are these choices grounded in long-term goals, a long-term vision? You know, is it sustainable? Can we be consistent and make, you know, and see it through to the end? And is it part of some sort of legacy or some greater purpose, you know, that is not only for our benefit but for the greater good, right? That's going to impact more than, you know, more people that, you know, at this time in history that's needed, I feel. So let's hit the first row. So as I was saying, we got into the first row, right? We have the sage, the alchemist, the healer. We can even see this if we wanted to as past, present, and maybe near future, right? This was near past, near future, and this is what's, you know, in store for us. So it's being offered up to us now. So we have been healing, right? We have been remembering and tapping into our, you know, healer abilities. We've been learning to transmute the suffering, the challenges we went through last year, learning from our lessons in order to get to some level of self-mastery and understanding through taking time to slow down, to connect to all these other parts, right? To do shadow work, to confront these hidden aspects of ourselves that maybe we were avoiding or denying or completely unconscious. And then a catalyst, right? This emotional catalyst was able to awaken us or reveal this, right? Unearth these elements, these aspects. But only through self-reflection, through taking the time to go inward, right? And we've been healing. So yeah, I see this card similar to the Magician Alchemist card in Tarot. The healer represents all of us. This archetype lives in everyone. It is an invitation for us to awaken to our own healing life force. And then the Mantis waits motionless for the perfect moment to act. So I think that it's also about divine timing, or knowing when to act and not acting impulsively or in haste, right? So like slowing down, observing, reflecting, understanding, right? Understanding how things are working or operating before, boom, striking or acting. It encourages you to slow down, watch carefully, trust the clarity that will come. Let the clarity come to you, because Waterfall represents letting go and surrender. So there's something about surrendering control and trusting and believing in divine timing and intervention, and knowing that things are gonna all kind of fall into place without us having to force it and to control things externally. Yeah, so it's like the shadow aspect of the Mantis is indecision and being overly calculating or cold. So yes, you want to be observant. Yes, you want to slow down and take your time and watch carefully before acting, but then you don't want to stay there for too long, right? Because then you're kind of like stuck, and then then that energy gets stagnant, and we need to keep it moving. like the waterfall, right? If you think of water rushing down, right? It's like it symbolizes like this clearing and purification and power. It's like it's this great force of like forward motion or momentum, and it's like comes in and clears things and washes things down the river into the ocean. It represents swift change, right? The changing of let's see. Yeah, the waterfall. Change in state or perspective. Water falling from height is transformed by the fall itself, just as a person is transformed by experience or challenge. Moving from one stage to another. The flow of life, emotional release. It's about letting go of resistance, surrendering to the process. Yeah, letting go of control. Cleansing and purification, yes. Washing away debris, letting go of old patterns, purifying the psyche, renewed clarity and vitality, for sure. And and that then connects us to this beautiful inner child energy, this energy, the sun card, right? The eternal child, inspiration, joy, us shining our light, not being afraid to be ourselves, to express ourselves, to be our authentic selves, nurturing that aspect of ourselves, letting it be seen and acknowledged, and then letting it like take up more space in your life in whatever form you see that. But we had to wash this, right? We needed to heal these core, maybe these inner child wounds, do this inner child healing and wash these old wounds and become aware of them and give it love and compassion. I definitely see this as inner child healing. As we also pull the eternal child, I see this as a confirmation that we're being guided to listen to whatever's coming up that might be connected to a younger self, right? A younger version of ourselves. When thinking of the inner child, the sun card symbolizes joy, innocence, vitality, a safe space for your authentic self to play, explore, express freely. So we're being invited to play more, right? To bring more play into our lives, to allow ourselves to explore. Maybe there's a hobby that we loved to do when we were a child and we haven't done it, right? We haven't engaged with it and in our adult life, and it's like maybe allowing yourself to engage with that, whether it be painting or maybe you like gardening, maybe whatever it is, because there's a lot of nature elements here. And even this, you could see the child's like reaching up to this, what looks like this beautiful big leaf. Um, yeah, connecting to this innocence, this explorative, like liberating energy. This archetype of the inner child is fully seen, loved, allowed to shine. So yes, are you seeing it? Are you acknowledging it? It wants to be seen, it wants to be loved, it wants to be allowed to shine. And how can you work with these parts, right? How can you work to integrate these parts? This nurturing, protective, creative life force, all of this together, right? You have the inner child that functions as this, our vulnerable side, our emotional, creative side. And the healing focus of the inner child is it wants to be witnessed, validated, nurtured, right? So I think we're being called to do that for ourselves. The nurturing, comforting side of us offers care and empathy and safety. That's its function, right? That's so that the child can feel safe enough to express itself and explore its creativity and develop their authentic self. It has to feel safe. It has to be, comforted and taken care of and nurtured. Right? How? Healing focus is self-compassion or compassion, right? when someone shows us compassion, it's very healing. It's very comforting and provides safety and comfort and nurturing energy. Emotional attunement, right? You're attuned to someone else. You're able to see what they need, you know, what is can best support them. And then we have the guiding, protective aspect of ourselves, right? The function of that part is to provide structure, boundaries, and guidance, right? And how? Through connecting us to our internal authority, to our resilience, and to use control in a skillful way. I don't like the word control, but maybe to be able to channel our energy with self-awareness, right? I don't, not control, but with awareness, to be very self-aware, and that way we're able to navigate things with more balance. Some great methods to help with the healing integration of these soul parts. I would say journaling is great. You can create these dialogues between these different parts, right? You can speak to each part in first person. Like, dear inner child, what is it that you're needing at this time, right? How can I best nurture you? How can I best protect you? You know, or maybe like writing from each perspective, each aspect's perspective, to see how you can best integrate these parts. Somatic work is always great, connecting to your body, allowing the child to feel supported physically, whether through rocking, hugging yourself, you know, a safe posture like the child's pose or something like that, you know, nurturing your body. What else can you do? Yeah, and then there's integration exercises that are similar to like the journaling, you know. You can bring all parts together, asking the child, how can I nurture and guide you? Practically respond, reinforcing trust in your inner system, right? You're building your inner system, your body, mind, and heart, right? Your psyche, bringing it all, aligning it all internally, and operating from that deep center of knowing. Now, this last row, the Phoenix is the Firebird, right? Resurrection, transformation. You have this card that I feel really connects to the High Priestess, the Sorceress. And I find it interesting, right? She's holding up her cauldron, burning her medicinal herbs. You have all this beautiful incense smoke. And then you have the Firebird burning, rising from the ashes. And what do you get? The flame. Come on, you can't even make this up, how this all aligned perfectly. The Phoenix. Let's see, let's read the Phoenix. We don't know what the Phoenix represents, right? Having, you know, it's like death and rebirth. It's a fire element. Resurrection. It says here, Phoenix sends the message that a part of your life is undergoing resurrection. He facilitates the inward journey that is necessary before any rebirth. Nothing real can ever be lost. Yeah, so whatever you had to release and let go of, it was time to let go of that, right? Either it wasn't meant to come with you any further. And anything that is real, that's meant to stay in your life, will stay in your life. Let his medicine lay claim to all that is no longer relevant to your ever-evolving existence. Surrender yourself to the fire of renewal, and you will return reborn, refined, and with more beauty and power than you could have possibly imagined. Beautiful. Let's read the flame. The flame. It says here, this flame at the center of the abdomen, right? The solar plex, the sacral. I almost feel like it connects with this card too, because the sun is like, it's almost like the child is like, that's the belly. the sun. So it's believed to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. So that is what we're being invited to do. Do not let your inner flame blow out. We have to tend to that inner fire. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you have forgotten and protect the flame, right? I almost feel like this is the child's protecting its inner light, right? Protect this child. Protect this child's beautiful, inspiring, creative flame. This too, it's like these serpents are also like protecting this jewel, this gem in the center. It says here, protect the flame no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. Okay, that's interesting because I feel like we did get the mystic, the shaman, and the poet, right? The mystic, the shaman, and the poet. I think the little child is the poet. The alchemist is the mystic, and the sorceress is the shaman, the medicine woman. Wow, this is amazing. Let's pull some final cards. I wanted to pull a sacred geometry card for some overarching energy. Let's see. Soul time. I feel like we've gotten that call. Soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge. One that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Wow. Soul time. The possibility that a new reality can emerge, even from the destruction that's happening, from all the rubble. We can rebuild a new life, a new world, a new reality. Oh shit, fear. Maybe we're asked to not connect to this fear, right? We need to battle that darkness and feel with the flame, letting our light shine. I kind of want to pull another card as a supporting. Let's see. Why fear? How can we remedy this fear? Reflection. So maybe it's again with the praying mantis, taking time to reflect and not letting like fear take over. I also want to pull another, I don't know, sacred geometry card. Yeah, if we let go of hope, for instance, if we let go of hope and go into fear, we won't believe the possibility of a new reality, right? We'll lose hope. We'll continue to live these oppressed, lives. Belief. Oh my God, that's crazy. I was just saying that we have to continue to believe. It says the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. So it's not only about believing in a better reality, a better future for the collective, but also believing in ourselves, believing in our abilities. Remember, we were saying we're reclaiming our power and our innate abilities to heal ourselves and to self-actualize. And all these gifts and talents that maybe remain dormant, right? We've been clearing the way. We've been unearthing all this stuff, removing all these layers of old patterns and beliefs and, conditioning. And now, we have a stronger connection to source and to our gifts and talents. Let me read real quickly. I want to see if there's anything in the fear card that I should share. It says this card is a call to summon the courage to face your fears while honoring them at the same time. So it's not about like, yeah, again, it's not about avoiding them or denying them or repressing them and shoving them down. It's like acknowledging like, shit, I'm a little scared. I don't know if this is going to work out, but I have this idea, let's say, you know, should I take the risk, you know, of working on that idea and making it a reality? So it's like, yeah, acknowledge that you're scared, but then allow that to be information in order to see like, okay, what is it that I'm afraid of, right? And and kind of like unraveling that knot and that illusion of that's limiting the possibilities for this new reality and these new opportunities to be able to arise. Moments like these are often the most definitive in life and act as the greatest teachers and catalysts for positive change. What is it that's holding you back? Why are you afraid? Great questions. Sitting with these questions, right, in reflection, right, praying Mantis in meditation is going to help you find clarity and connect to your belief and to this inner flame and your, you know, healer, inner, you know, eternal child that lives within. So with these questions will help you tap into your power and greatest potential. Acknowledging and moving past your fears can bring you into greater sense of alignment with yourself and the world around you. Absolutely. And reflection. Let's see reflection. Reflection. Some say that certain people or situations in your life act as mirrors that reflect back at you and teach you, right? Something, some sort of lesson. What that mirror reveals can act as a source of inspiration, encouraging you to move forward. You may not like what you see. Maybe it's that. It's like we have to look at the fear. And we might not like what we see, but it's giving us the opportunity to make important changes in our life. How can we change that fear into courage to fuel our motivation to rise above like this phoenix, right? To heal ourselves. Beautiful cards. Happy full moon in Leo. Bendiciones.